Three, two, one.
Here we go!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Walton Boyz. I'm Dante. I'm here with my dad. Today, we're going to do a review for the season 1 finale of Loki. Let's start off with our general thoughts here. For me, I thought it was a pretty good finale, to be honest. It wasn't like exactly what I thought it was going to be at all, actually. I thought it was going to be like kind of like the other two Marvel shows, end off with like some sort of big, like kind of like a boss battle type thing and all that. Nothing like that, but a lot of like major implications to what's to come in the future, like for the movies and all that, opening up the multiverse and all that. It really was like a big moment for the MCU. It didn't really wrap up all the different loose ends that I thought it would, but then again, this is the only show so far from Disney Plus on Marvel side that is confirmed to have a season 2, so it will continue on there. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. What'd you think?
No, I did too. So my opinion would have changed if I didn't know there was a season 2.
Right.
If that's how it ended, that would have been the stupidest thing ever. Right. Like, so I heard rumors there'd be a season 2, but finally when they actually said it, I was like, oh, I can accept it. I think we talked about that the last time.
Yeah.
I could take almost any ending if it's not the end of the series, right?
Right.
I can take a season endings don't mean anything to me. But this one was great. I mean, man, it opened up a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So I guess later we'll get into season 2, but I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was on par with the other finales.
Actually, in terms of finales, I'll put
Number
this
2
as number 1, because I think for like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, like the finales weren't really the strong points of the series. But Loki, I thought like the finale was like one of the best episodes.
Like the other ones, the main plot ended, but they're going to keep going on in the other universe. I don't think Loki's ever going back to the universe. I think he's going to exist in this Disney Plus universe, which is cool.
Well, actually, I have something here, and it's not just a random rumor. The Hollywood Reporter, which is pretty legit. Okay?
Ooh,
no, that is legit.
Mm-hmm.
They when they talked about Loki season 2 being official and all that, they insinuated that Loki might appear in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, which no one had said like before. Like it hadn't been hinted at or anything that he'd be in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of, we'll see. I whatever. Who knows what's going to happen by then, right? So it'll make more sense.
In terms of movies, like say COVID never happened, right? And the normal release schedule happened like as it should have. By this point, with Loki coming out, we would have already seen Shang-Chi and Eternals, right? And Doctor Strange would have just came out, by the way. So I don't think like Shang-Chi and Eternals is going to be like affected at all by the show, but I think like going forward, like Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, which people are saying it might be multiverse thing too. What If even is going to be a multiverse thing that actually might be connected and not just an anthology. It's really going to connect to like future stuff. Ant-Man, obviously, because Kang is going to be in that movie.
Yeah, definitely set off like a good origin of this whole multiverse thing that's going to happen. Now you're like, oh, I get it now, because Loki did this and that. Now this makes sense to me. Now I know where the multiverse came from, which is great because now they don't have to waste time doing that in a movie.
Well, they're going to still explain it a little bit for people that didn't watch it, but it definitely would help a lot for everyone who have watched the show. Let's talk a little bit about like how this whole thing started off. Like at first you think it's going to be the normal Marvel Studios like fanfare like always, but then we get little quotes from like different characters as it pulls out into space. You hear stuff from like Nelson Mandela, Maya Angelou, Greta Thunberg, cool. Neil Armstrong, a bunch of people, and it goes to like a whole wormhole through time, and then you see the whole thing is like the sacred timeline and all that, all the way up to the end of time, which is at the castle. That whole intro was awesome.
It was pretty good, man. Like you hear everybody's iconic lines, and this whole series was really cool because it was almost un-Marvel-like, in a way, like the boundaries that they pushed, and some other things were creepy in there. But we can talk. I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, but you know what it does remind me of, and it makes sense, is Rick and Morty, because the creator of the show and other writers on the show all came from Rick and Morty. Marvel's been snatching up Rick and Morty writers. Like the lead writer of She-Hulk is from Rick and Morty. The writer of Ant-Man 3 is from Rick and Morty, and the creator of this show, Michael Waldron, he's from Rick and Morty too. So like definitely the whole time stuff, the different variants is another like Rick and Morty thing. They always talk about different dimensions and like different versions of Rick and Morty, and like a lot of the more sci-fi, like existential stuff and all that Rick and Morty.
There's so many Ricks everywhere. Yeah.
So I definitely see the influence there. And apparently Kevin Feige was so impressed by this show that he hired Michael Waldron, the creator of this, to they reworked Doctor Strange 2 when Sam Raimi came on, and they hired him to like rewrite the movie. Okay, so obviously like once they end up in this castle, right? They open the door. Miss Minute says like a jump scare to like out of nowhere, she pops up and she says like, oh, this is the he who remains lives here. But first, let me try to cut you a deal real quick. Loki, you want to win the Battle of New York, you want to kill Thanos here, you can get the Infinity Gauntlet, you can rule everything if you want. And Sylvia, oh, you can just be happy for once. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, in the same universe.
Right, yeah, you guys can both go back in the timeline and live your life however you want now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If there's for Loki at the beginning of the series, he totally would have taken the offer. Like,
oh, hell yeah. What?
But you see really how much he's changed throughout the series, actually. Yeah,
no, he's shown a heart. Man. But the funny thing is, how do you make a Loki series if you don't care about Loki? Right? So they did a really good job. In the other movies, you're not supposed to care about him. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. Right? He sets the protagonist up to be a hero, right? So you need a good bad guy in every hero movie, right?
Right.
He's a decent bad guy, but yeah, to see him in his own vehicle and then transform him into someone you actually give a shit about. It was a great job. And that Lamentus episode, things that people don't like, none of this would have been possible without those types of moments.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. And like this whole episode was a lot of like more like talking and all that. There's one little fight scene like in the middle there, but like it's still really a great finale with just all the revelations. And like we definitely need to talk about like once we find out who he remains is, it's totally Kang.
For 13 seconds, I thought it was Miss Minutes. I was like, oh shit, she popped out. I was like, oh, come on. Yeah, I was like, no freaking way.
It's kind of like what I said. She's like working for whoever the bad guy is, and I was like right about that. I guess she seems to be like an AI assistant type thing. Like if Siri was evil, she's like evil Siri. But yeah, once they open up the elevators and it's Jonathan Majors, I'm like, oh wow, they're really doing Kang.
Yeah, look. So yeah, that was a huge moment, right? A huge moment. He opened the elevator, like ding. I was like, oh shit, man. Oh man.
People thought they weren't going to introduce him in Loki, and well, technically they didn't introduce Kang. They introduced another variant, which seems like a Mortis or something. He had like the purple cape. But he talked about like, oh, that trust me, you don't want to see the other variants of me. If you think I'm bad, trust me, you don't want to see the other ones. So that's that. So the other variant is definitely going to be Kang the Conqueror.
Well, yeah. What else could it be, right? It'd been nice to see a nice helmet. And they're going to go no helmet.
Well,
that's kind of fucked up.
Well, the thing about that is that will look kind of dumb. Like him with the blue face mask. How's he going to talk in that thing? It works in a comic book because they don't move. You know what I mean? They're gonna have the helmet like in a battle scene or something, but like the whole time him talking through that thing. No, I think it's better just showing his normal face.
Yeah, I agree. That's Kang. I didn't want to believe it.
Why not?
Because but it wasn't cliche because they used the variant. So but that was the variant that won. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So the Kang in this universe will be the one who's in all the movies, right? So
that's what I'm thinking. Because like jumping forward to the end, like the episode when they do the Planet of the Apes reveal thing, where it shows the statue of Kang there, he's definitely a Kang the Conqueror outfit there.
Yeah, 100%. But his nonchalant attitude was different than what Kang probably will be in the movie, because
it's going to be a different variant. Like we know already from this show set up perfectly that different variants act differently and they have different personalities to them.
Yes,
So like I
Right.
feel
They can
like
look
Kang
like
the
this.
Conqueror is not gonna he's gonna be a more serious type character than how this guy was.
You know, if you can have variants that are as diverse as Loki is, different sexes, different species. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
so yeah, it's not unbelievable. They can run King variants all over the place if they want to. Hopefully they don't do that, but
And I feel like all the different Kangs are probably going to be played by Jonathan Majors. I feel like,
you think
unlike in the
so?
show, well, because in the little like when he showed pull out his little tempad thing, like the little diorama figures that came out, they all were him, all the different Kangs. So and plus, I don't think they're going to do too many variants, anyways, of Kang. To be honest,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
yeah,
It definitely. Hey, I'm interested. That's for sure.
yeah. And at least there are no Ralph Boner moments like in WandaVision. Like the answers that they give were satisfying enough, I think.
The Matrix was playing Kang the whole time, and so wasn't that like confirmed?
Yes, that's what sucks. Marvel already officially announced that Jonathan Majors is playing Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man in the Wasp Quantumania. But if they hadn't said that and we just saw
Yeah,
him there, we'd be like, wait, who's this character? And then eventually you think like, oh wait, that's Kang.
yeah,
Instead of immediately, I'm like, oh, that's Kang. I just know because that's the
exactly.
actor that's playing him.
Exactly. It's almost like you just have a different actor play this part. It's just weird that the time between the Loki season 1 end and the next time you see Kang, well, I think the next time you see Kang, right?
Yeah.
It will see. I thought the first appearance was going to be in the end movie, but that's not true, right? So it
Well,
he could show up in every movie.
but like I said, like Shang-Chi and Eternals probably no hand at all of multiverse because that's supposed to be already out by this point. But
Yeah,
I could see a hint in Spider-Man Far From Home and
Doctor
definitely
Strange, you have
a hint of in Doctor
Spider-Man,
Strange
Doctor Strange.
because both of those
Yeah,
are
I mean, you kind of have to have.
well, at least in Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Spider-Man, they
yeah.
can get away with not talking about Kang. I can definitely see a post-credit scene in Doctor Strange 2 where we finally fully see Kang, Kang the Conqueror. That's what I'm guessing.
So I woke up. It was funny. I woke up like at 3 something, and I forgot what time it came out. So I happened to turn it on, so I can watch that basketball show with John Stamos.
Now you watch it.
I didn't do that. I saw the Loki banner, and I was like, boom, and I hit it, and I was so excited, man. I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I was more excited for this finale than I was for the other ones.
Yeah,
like,
I
I
think
had
so
to know
too.
what the hell. Like,
Because it's much
a
more of a
lot more
mystery. Yeah. Because in like WandaVision and definitely Falcon and Winter Soldier, you knew who the villains were already going into the end.
Yeah.
For this, you had no idea. Like, oh man, who's it gonna be?
But you think about it, it's funny, right? So the ending, when he went back to the TVA, that last 40 seconds or a minute of that scene, right, with Mobius and the Hunter, that freaked me out. I was like, oh man, this series has legs, right? They can do 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons if they wanted to.
What if the what ifs are connected?
Wait, what'd you say?
What if the what if series is just the multiple universes that we don't get to watch in movies?
That's what I think is gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, Dante said that. Yeah.
So that they're actually just branching out.
Did you watch this new trailer for What If?
For What Ifs?
Yeah.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, if you see it, there's one shot where the Doctor Strange one and Peggy Carter are together in one scene, so they're all gonna be connected. I thought they would have been standalone episodes, but it's gonna be one. It's gonna be a whole story, and there's a whole like new Avengers type lineup to show with like Gamora and T'Challa, and Thor, and I think Killmonger.
That's cool.
Oh, that is very cool.
The biggest thing I wanted them to answer, like in the finale, but they're gonna leave it open for season 2, was what's up with Ravonna. They kind of like show like that she's, I guess, originally from. They plucked her from 2018, Ohio. That's what the FDR high school pen was all about.
Yeah,
she's like the principal there, or I don't know.
Or I think she was a teacher or something.
I thought she was
a guidance counselor or something. You thought she was a principal too?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because she said like, "Oh, what are you doing in my school?"
But now did that really happen? Because that happened before all the Loki, all the Sylvie kill the Kang thing.
But watch, listen to this though. That's what I thought too. But remember when Mobius comes into Ravonna's office trying to confront her, and like she just like knocks him to the ground in like 10 seconds flat. And she leaves. She's like, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm in search. I'm gonna go search for free will," because she said only those in charge have free will. So I think that she went to go see whatever files Miss Minutes gave her. We don't know either. I
That's
feel
true.
like Miss Minutes told her the truth, and I think she went to go see Kang. And by the time she got there, it was the new Kang, the Kang the Conqueror style, and she's finally gonna rule with him, kind of like the comics.
Yeah, maybe. I can see that. Sure.
Yeah. So season
Sure,
2,
I can
she'll
see that.
definitely be a villain.
Oh yeah, she is the big bad in season 2.
Remember Lego Marvel Superheroes 2?
Yeah.
It's her and
She was
Kang.
there.
They're the villains. Yeah. The
Oh
game.
yeah.
Oh,
The whole thing's
wow.
about Chronopolis and all that. Yeah.
Really good.
That's where I first learned about all this
Let's
stuff.
do a whole special on Renslayer, Kang, and just make it all based on the Lego video game.
No, the
Here's
Lego
my
games
theory.
teach you so much about random
Oh, yeah.
characters.
Obscure characters.
Yeah, I
for
learned
sure.
so much about DC and Marvel from the Lego games.
You guys are okay.
No, there's like hundreds of characters in each
No.
game.
It's a lot. There was like 200 in that game.
Throg
So-
was in that game too, Lego Marvel 2.
Yeah. How about you guys read some comic books?
Nah, we learned more from
That's
Lego.
more accessible.
Speaking of Throg, one thing, oh man, remember I was talking about, like, even before they showed him, that he's someone I really wanted to see in the show. Apparently, he was gonna be in a scene in episode 1, but they cut the scene because it didn't work with the pacing. When
okay.
Mobius shows him his whole life, there were gonna be a scene with Loki and Throg,
Oh, really?
and Chris Hemsworth voiced Throg.
Oh, wow. That would have been cool.
That was interesting.
Yeah,
that
I
would've
know
been
they
awesome.
cut it out. They said it didn't work with the pacing and all that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Man, how do you cut that out? That would be cool.
yeah,
you,
I
don't,
know.
you only need a couple minutes to spend on it. You don't got to go crazy with it.
But they kept in the DB Cooper, but left out Throg. Come on.
I know. Yeah. That's kind of DB Cooper. I have to look at the tape of us our reviewing the episode. But I'm pretty sure I thought that was dumb.
No, you thought it was cool, I think. Well, okay,
No.
watch. I'm gonna play the clip right now. Like different like mysteries they try to like tie together, like how they showed that Loki was DB Cooper. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
See, I told you thought it was good.
I'm consistent, boy. I'm consistent.
No, you're a flip flopper.
I'm
You
not
are-
a flip flopper.
You are a flip flop.
Yeah, at first you say, "Oh man, it's awesome." Then the next day, like, "Oh, that sucks. That was dumb."
You are a flip flopper.
I am not a flip flopper.
You are a flip flopper.
So what else? What else was cool to you? The kiss.
Yeah,
That was
here's the-
actually really boring.
I thought that was.
I think
weird.
that's weird.
I thought.
Yeah, I
It
think
was, I
it's
don't know why I
kinda-
got creeped
It's-
out by it, but I got a little creeped out, man.
It's two of the same person.
Yeah, it was
So if you
Whoa.
think about it, if they had sex, it would make it instant. Maybe.
the incest Loki. That's how you learn this.
I'm not weirded out by it, but I'm just not really interested in their romantic relationship. But them together, I thought they're really good.
Well, it didn't mean anything.
It broke off.
Yeah, she still did what she was gonna do. Like her uncontrollable rage just. Yeah.
No, it's not
Screwed
the
everything up.
rage. It's just her that she can't trust anybody. Like Loki even said it. Like, you can't trust anybody, and I can't be trusted. Like she's very untrustworthy. That's why she immediately thought, like, "Oh, this guy's lying. Let's just kill him anyways."
Yeah, but Loki was convinced, and by that time she should have been too,
Mm,
because it was very.
Why?
believable.
He
all
didn't give
that-
any proof.
they're Loki.
You don't need any proof.
Can-
dude. Like
he
his
didn't give any proof, though.
His proof was showing you a sheet of paper of all the shit that you were gonna do that you did.
Doesn't
Like,
mean
I would've
doesn't
read
mean
it.
that if he gets
read it.
killed, then another guy's gonna come. He could have been making up any of that stuff.
dude, Loki would have taken that off.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
90% of Marvel Universe would have taken that off.
Yeah, he would have ran the TVA.
Captain America would be at the TVA right now.
Hmm.
Like, it's just crazy.
I wonder if Captain America got pruned because he went back to Peggy Carter. That'd be sad.
Prune him.
Maybe that was the timeline.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, we pruned him.
That's the weird thing about the timeline, because you start to question, like, oh, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen?
Well,
'Cause
it's
that didn't
whatever
work. But
Kang
it could have
says.
been what it was. Yeah.
No,
it could have been
he
what it was.
chooses what it does and doesn't happen. Like he allowed the
Yeah.
Avengers to go back in time, but he didn't want Loki to take the Tesseract. In this like Kang variant, I guess like He Who Remains has just been like, well, according to him at least, just been locked away like in his citadel at the end of time, pretty much playing Sims with with everyone's lives and like deleting the safe house he doesn't want or whatever.
King the Conqueror. We got a black king, baby.
Yeah, I'm surprised people weren't mad about that, but it's
Black king. Yes, king.
What? Why did they murder him off so soon?
See,
Well-
he didn't know that was king. That's king, man.
yeah, it's
What?
He's a king.
no, but
there.
trust me.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, but the new guy, like the statue you saw at the end, that's gonna be King the Conqueror. He even had the same outfit.
Yeah.
I expect to see Chronopolis.
Oh no, you're not getting that.
I want to see it.
Maybe in whatever the equivalent of Endgame is.
Oh,
might-
it might be like a Secret Wars thing. I feel
Oh,
like that's
that's-
gonna be
Oh, if that's King, we're gonna have to see the Fantastic Four then.
not necessarily. I bet
that's
they're gonna
not
change
good.
it because
Come
the
on.
fact that he's a 23rd generation Reed Richards descendant.
Dude,
Yeah.
Came
Isn't
from the
that
same-
important? I think like they'll change it up.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Well, they're
they'll
gonna
change it up.
say his name, and then no one will care. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Well, then they don't have to start a Fantastic Four movie as an origin story every time.
well, they're not gonna do that this time. Well, I don't know.
You don't know
I
that.
bet
No,
they
no
will.
Fantastic Four talk. No Fantastic Four talk. Like, this is most frustrating. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm with you, Dante. I don't care if they ever do it. They don't have to bring it up. Doesn't
Are you
matter.
sad that they didn't? That it wasn't Doctor Doom like you thought?
Yeah, I was.
Why did you think it would be Doctor Doom? That doesn't make
Because
sense.
I wanted it to be Doctor Doom.
Oh, but you heard Fantastic Four stuff.
Boy, if you say Fantastic Four, you got to go. I'm gonna kick him out this podcast, Dante. If he say Fantastic Four again, you got to go.
Man, one guest spot, you're ready to be kicked out.
Don't you do it. If you saw his lips right now, he's like, it's like around the edge of his lips. Don't you do it. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to kind of see how they kind of edge everything and build that universe, because one danger about making the universe have so many options is that too many options. Like at some point you have to kind of ring fence this thing right into what the reality could be, because it's a lazy plot device to use time. Most of the time it's a very lazy plot device, right? Because you can come fix any flaw in your plot with some time travel. So it's like it's the same thing as using like dreams or.
What do you think Marvel's doing? That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, I think like
Showing
by
what could happen.
yeah.
Imagine Thanos winning.
Hmm.
That would have been awesome.
Well, he did win, and then he lost.
Yeah, I
He
was gonna say-
won, and then went
Well,
back in
I
time,
mean-
and they fixed it.
I mean, when they didn't fix it and Thanos won for a
So
second
if he won
time.
twice, what if Thanos won twice?
Yeah. What if Thanos kept winning? Like,
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
yeah, winning.
I think like by whatever the next Avengers is going to be, like that'll be like another major event, and I think it'll all be back to like.
You mean
if it
Young
is-
Avengers?
They're going to do Young Avengers probably. Like, is Kid Loki
rather
going to
have-
come
yeah.
back? Because that's what I would.
Yeah, of course.
Season
he's pretty
2
cool, man.
definitely. I think season 2.
Aren't-
will be-
I think Dante was disappointed that it wasn't classic Loki as the villain, but they did use his thing. I was like, I
yeah,
love it.
glorious.
Now that's my thing. Glorious purpose.
They
I'm
even
gonna
had
say it in
like
my
the
next meeting.
WandaVision quote too, like, "What is grief if not love persevering?"
Yeah.
Um,
But it's not glorious purpose.
man, that was a good moment right there.
So season 2 is going to be pretty spectacular, right?
When is it
Yeah.
going to come out? You think? Like, I
Maybe-
imagine it's going to come out right before or to lead up to Ant-Man 3. I'm guessing.
I expect.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll give you a
So-
little more
so-
background on Kang, and then. But I mean, look, the way it ended. I mean, Loki's the protagonist for real now. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's not like a borderline thing, and I don't know why. Well, we'll see, right? I wish there was one more episode.
I
It's like-
know. Like, we're gonna have to wait so long for a lot of these answers. I just want to
Yeah,
know.
because whatever the answer is, it would have played a lot better immediately after what happened, right? What's been one of those things where, okay, before I watch season 2, I gotta rewatch season 1, like immediately, like the day before I watch the first episode of season 2, I have to watch the entire season.
No, you don't. Just
The
watch
season-
the last episode.
No, I
of
need to watch it
season one.
all. I need to watch it all.
What if they don't?
I think, well, they are gonna make a season 2.
Okay.
Like, they said it.
Yeah, and the end
You didn't watch the
credits-
end credit? Oh, he didn't watch the end
Oh,
credits.
you didn't watch the end. You always
It
watch
was
the end credit.
nighttime. I was
Oh
sleeping.
my goodness.
Now I'm gonna look them up now.
Go watch the end credits.
I'm gonna look them up.
No, watch the end
I'm
credits.
gonna look them up. I'll be
You
back.
come back in 5 minutes after you watch the end credits. You can't even be in this conversation. Get out of here. You didn't even watch it.
I will.
Get out of here. he's like, what if there's not a season 2? I'm like, what? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, but season 2 is going to be something special, man. I'm digging it. Look, Owen Wilson gets to keep a job for a couple more years. Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Oh, and they didn't pay off the whole jet ski thing. Season 2.
They didn't, yeah.
Next time, baby, or whatever. What did Terrence Howard say?
Next time, baby.
You think they're gonna keep the TVA in season 2, or just have Loki use the technology to do things like fix things himself? Or what do you think is gonna happen in season 2? I have no idea.
I think season 2 will keep the TVA because they set up the whole there's a new leader in town. I'm guessing it's King the Conqueror. It's going to be a more strict, probably more ruthless TVA than even was under the old guy. But yeah, I don't know. Loki's they don't even know Loki at all, which is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe he never existed in this timeline.
Yeah, I guess
they would know him because everyone knew about Loki's at the TVA because they're always causing trouble and all that, and they knew him immediately. But they didn't recognize him at all. It's oh, who are you? What's your name?
No, it was I don't know, that threw me off. So I don't really know where they're gonna go. Is Loki gonna be a rogue and try to fix things, or I don't know.
Or what happened with Sylvie also after that whole thing?
Yeah. Was the last scene we saw her just sitting down?
Yeah, after she stabbed.
She knew she screwed up. Yeah. Sylvie can be in season 2. She has to be in season 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of her being the main protagonist. See what she's gonna do.
Oh, they might do a split, back and forth between 2 different stories. This time, maybe they'll have 2 separate paths.
What if she's in charge of the TVA?
That'd be interesting.
Who's in charge of the TVA now?
Nobody.
It has to be King the Conqueror. He had the big statue right there.
That was the ultimate TVA, though.
Yeah, but that's just that means the time keepers aren't real, and now he just showed himself as the person in charge. But
that means he's in charge.
Oh, I think
but does that mean that but look, he's in charge the way the timekeepers were in charge. He's not in charge the way Renslayer was in charge.
Renslayer wasn't in charge.
She was in charge for real. She was the lead. She was pulling them strings. She was doing her thing.
She was a judge, but even she didn't know who
created
the TVA.
She was doing things at the direction of she had access to the timekeepers.
No, she didn't. She had access to
they're fake, and she didn't even realize because she's too blind to see.
But she had access to those fake timekeepers. Everybody didn't have that.
Fake.
So there has to be someone, because Kang the Conqueror is not going to be in every episode as a villain. There has to be someone.
No, Renslayer now is going to be I feel it's going to be she went to go see who's in charge, and now she's going to be one of the people. TVA.
Do you think she's going to be still in charge of the TVA?
She's she's going to be promoted pretty much. She's going to be she's pretty much going to be the right-hand person to Kang.
I'm just going to say.
I'm going to say you're both wrong.
I'm going to say this. I guess I interpret the ending incorrectly compared to you two. Did you say it's the same universe? And I thought it was a separate timeline.
So you think the TVA is in a separate timeline?
Yes, that they
separate universe.
They show the statue, yes. I think it's a separate TVA.
What do you think about
the
that?
same people. That's what I thought.
I never thought of that.
Statue.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not the same. So
it must be really cool to have nothing in your head most of the time. So when you do have something, you say some profound, cool thing, because I never thought about that either. It could be a completely different thing.
That's why they said, who are you?
Well, I thought they did, since he messed up the timeline, everything was kind of out of whack. But you're right. He could be in a different, if they're multiverses, why can't the TVA have multiverses?
Well, because we don't know where the TVA is. We just know it doesn't work the same time-wise. It doesn't work the same as the rest of the universe.
Well, it didn't.
Well,
but now everything is just screwed up, right?
But there's multiple Kangs, so that means there's multiple areas too. Because Kang made the TVA, whatever.
So yeah,
so that means
I agree.
Multiple
no, I don't think
TVAs.
your theory is crazy. But man, it's got way too long to find out.
Yeah, no, it might be a couple of years or something.
Loki, it started out 3 out of 5 and kind of got it. No, it climbed. It climbed every episode. It got WandaVision started out just on top. It had nowhere to go but down, but it never did.
I thought this show didn't reach the highs quite as much as WandaVision did. I thought the highs of WandaVision were a little bit higher, but funny enough, I think the lows in Loki weren't as low as the lowest points in WandaVision either. So overall, I put this right next to WandaVision as those two were definitely my favorite MCU shows in Disney Plus, with Falcon and Winter Soldier in third place. That was still a good show, but not quite as good as Loki and WandaVision here.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. It started
It was mixed.
in the middle.
I thought it was a good setup.
It started as a 3 and went to a 4. I think Loki started as a 2 or 3 and went to a 5. So.
I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier deserves a movie. Or
Well, they are.
They are going to do a new Captain America movie with Sam as Captain America.
Yeah.
and like because it's gonna be better now because we now have the awesome Captain America.
Marvel is the shit. They are doing it, man. You cannot stop that train. That train is running American entertainment right now. TV. Look, Don Cheadle doesn't even know why he got nominated for it.
That was hilarious.
He was like, what?
He was in 2
You're
minutes.
what?
Like, I got nominated for an Emmy. Okay.
You're like, what the hell?
WandaVision got 23 nominations.
Yeah. I mean, look, they killed it. I mean, Disney just destroyed it. Did you tell everybody to click down below? Subscribe.
Subscribe or it also get pinned.
Yeah.
It made me sick Miss Minutes on you.